Hi, and welcome to Hot, Hip, and Now. I'm your host, Elyssa Frank. Once again, I return to the topic of now. Due to the extraordinary circumstances and the magnitude of Hurricane Harvey's destruction, I'll be following up from my last story. As it's been reported, the synagogues in Houston were all flooded out, which left the small but thriving Jewish community of Houston even more displaced. It was always a bit challenging to find kosher food in Houston. It has now become a major problem with a lack of kosher food due to the flooding. I'm on the line with Rabbi Yossi Zaklikofsky, leader of the Shul in Bellaire and the head of relief services for the Chabad of Houston, whose home was also flooded. He will be filling us in on all the details, as well as the outreach of the Chabad Organization that's been able to, and all that they have been able to accomplish since this devastating natural disaster has struck. Hi, Rabbi. Shalom from Israel. Rabbi?
Shalom, and thank you.
Hi, I hope I did your name right. If I didn't, please correct me. I'll let you do it on your own. You want to say your name for me?
You're good.
I'm good. Okay, Zaklikofsky, I got that. So I'm really sorry we have to meet under these circumstances, and unfortunately we're not able to get you some audio, but we are together on this phone. First of all, of course, how are you and your family?
We're doing okay, thank God. We did have our moments of danger.
Yeah?
On Sunday and Monday, but thank God we're out of that.
Did you have the bubbling floor syndrome, which I heard about? Did you have...
Which syndrome?
I heard that people, I spoke to an Israeli couple last night, which I talked to you about. They had the bubbling floor that had occurred. Did you have that, or did the water come through the door with you?
It did come through the door, yes. First through the back door and then to the front as well.
Wow! And how many?
We did take in about 5 inches of water from wall to wall in our ground floor of the house.
Wow! I'm so sorry to hear. It's really quite devastating. And let me just start from the top, because I really think it's important that we let our audience know, for those who don't know, the incredible work of Chabad. Can you just give a little idea of what exactly Chabad is?
Chabad is a philosophy, a Jewish movement, a school of thought, and a global network of educational, religious, and humanitarian organizations.
Okay, and you're really open. I mean, this is how a non-religious Jew looks at you. You're located all over the world, and you are always there to be a warm meal and just incredible kindness, a Shabbat meal, a holiday meal, of course, too. And in a circumstance like this, you really have to come up to the plate. So you are the head of the Bellaire Shul. Is that located in the Maryland area?
Yes. If I drive about a mile from my house, I'll already be in Maryland.
Maryland, it's called. A mile, you said, from your house?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm in Bellaire, which is right next to Maryland.
Okay, because they were hit really, really hard, I heard, and there's many homeless souls. So you must be getting a lot, because this Maryland area is a very Jewish community, right? Am I correct?
Correct. It's the center of Houston's Jewish community, and it was devastated more than other areas. Of course, homes flooded throughout Houston. But there's definitely a concentration in this area, and unfortunately, I believe the number of Jewish homes that were impacted exceeds 1,000.
Wow! So we need you here to give us some information. Just a little bit about yourself. It's just how many are in your family? How many kids are there?
We have 5 children.
You have 5 children to the ages of what? From what age to what age?
Age 10 to age 2.
Okay. I think I read you all went to the 2nd floor, correct?
Correct. As soon as when water started coming into the house, we grabbed supplies, food, and water, and we moved it all upstairs, and that's where we hung out for about 48 hours.
48 hours. And you had already been in the rainstorm. I heard it was 2 days of crazy rain, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
It started on first over Friday night on Shabbat. It kind of slowed down, and then towards evening it picked up, and overnight it was a torrential downpour.
Wow. And I know that you're used to flooding in that area, but this was very different, I'm hearing. Everybody was that I've spoken to has told me about the flooding, but this seemed to like never end, I hear.
There were floods previously, even in the last couple of years. However, this one was historic. I mean, this was a rain of biblical proportions. This, as I said, torrential downpour, and it didn't stop.
Yeah, this
for days.
Historical proportion.
The Bellaire area, Meyerland, of course, has flooded in the past. Even there, it's been worse this time. But Bellaire homes typically never flooded, and this time many did. So it was even more devastating than any time in the past.
I need to really ask this. I'm sorry if it sounds petty. I hear this word Bellaire, and it brings me back to like the fancy part of Los Angeles. Is Bellaire an affluent area?
It's I wouldn't necessarily compare it to Bellaire in California.
Okay,
but,
I just had to do.
Relatively speaking, I would say it's a little more affluent than Meyerland. Not that Meyerland isn't. Bellaire just has a certain, unique character to it.
Okay, interesting. I know you're originally from Detroit. I'm originally from Bronx, New York. So we're not really used to this weather at all. So this is a whole new thing for you. Your wife, is she from the area? Or your kids are the only real Texans?
My wife is from Brooklyn, New York.
Okay, so we have Brooklyn in the house too. Wow. So is your shul or your community center, is that in Meyerland?
Our shul is in Bellaire. The shul itself did not flood, thank God.
So your shul was okay. I heard every shul was underwater.
Our shul was not. It did not flood.
Wow. Well,
there were other synagogues in the area, including what's called the United Orthodox Synagogues, UOS, which was heavily flooded. I mean, there are photographs out there, and it's pretty devastating.
We see, I think it's your other rabbi. I think I spoke to him. I'm not too sure. I took some pictures. They were bringing out the Torah. I know from Corpus Christi, and I saw another Torah there was two pictures up on your site. There's a young guy, and I think it's the rabbi, I can't think of his name right now, who's actually...
Fagenson?
What? Excuse me?
Fagenson?
I don't know. I can't remember exactly. It was the rabbi I contacted. It was the Chabad of Houston.
In Sugar Land, I know there were images of the Torah being removed from the Chabad Center in Sugar Land, Texas,
wow.
Which is another area about 20 miles from there.
Okay, so let's get to sort of the grits, because I know a lot of people want to help. So what has Chabad been doing exactly? How are you helping out? Let's talk about the kosher food situation, and then we have some other, I'd like to cover some other things.
Well, immediately after the flood, what was unfolding, the needs were immediate, and the response by Chabad was immediate.
And what was that?
Chabad is an army of 15 couples here in Houston, Texas, 11 different branches. So, we're talking about people that have their boots on the ground, and people turn to them immediately when they're in need. Right. And there's a direct human connection. It's not a phone number. It's not an automated response that you have to make your selection and not speak to anyone when you actually need help. This is direct connection to the people who they're seeking help from, and the response is the same. It's person to person, soul to soul, whatever is necessary. So at first, the most urgent help was literally to save lives.
Right, to rescue.
Now, largely that wasn't done by us. We leave that to those that are professional and experts, and there were thousands of rescues being done by boat. And
so tell me, what Chabad did?
Helicopter.
Rabbi, Rabbi, I'm going to interrupt you for a second.
That did rescue other people.
Rabbi,
But,
I'm just going to interrupt
passed,
you for a second.
The focus became on bringing kosher food to people at shelters, at hotels, wherever they were. Hot meals were being delivered by the hundreds from the first day.
Okay, so we're talking kosher food. You got food to people. Did you open your home? Were you literally, I think it was in Sugar Land or Corpus Christi, some rabbi ended up housing some people that were rescued?
Possibly in Corpus Christi.
Okay.
In my case, we lost our ground floor due to the flood.
We're showing a picture of you. We're showing a picture of you on the screen right now, Rabbi. There's a picture of you with a group of guys with a yellow shirt and blonde hair. Is this your family, or is this?
Those were neighbors and friends who came over to our house to help clear out the sheetrock and start removing what was damaged.
Due to the mold and everything like that. Right. Okay. So.
Correct.
Also, I want to talk a little bit about the kosher food situation, what's going on. I know there was an article written, but let's discuss it a little bit more. There's a lot of pictures showing up. I would like to show them on the screen now of what the markets look like in Houston. So what's going on? The last we spoke, you said that they were shipping food from New York City, right?
Right. So of course, as you said, there was a big shortage. People weren't even able to go out and shop. Even if they could, the stores were closed. And even if the stores were open, the supply is limited, of course, when they reopen. So that's obviously a crisis. And to address that, there were trucks of food that actually had, I believe, the first already reached Houston as of last night or this morning, and many others are coming from various organizations in the New York area and beyond, which will be incredible help for a desperate situation.
Because that's kosher food. I mean, there's no kosher
Correct.
food left in Houston,
Correct.
pretty much. Okay, wow. So Shabbat is upon us. It's going to hit us before it'll hit you. Are you doing anything to organize for any Shabbat meals or any services? And if we can even get in some high holiday plans for the future, I know it's a lot to handle, but
Well,
I want to try to organize something for
high
you.
holiday, right. High holiday plans are in place, and we'll begin to address that once the more urgent things are taken care of.
Got you.
For Shabbat, most definitely. See, Chabad has a whole coordinated effort. We have one person overseeing gathering names of families and addresses of those that need volunteers to come to their house to help clean up. We have another person who is coordinating those that want to volunteer at people's homes and then pairing the two together. We have another dealing with supplies, like cleaning supplies, boxes, which are all desperately needed. Another, as we said, is overseeing the kosher food issue. So the meals that have been going out every day and continue to, as we speak, are being prepared by two Chabad centers, one in Southwest Fondren and the other one at the Texas Medical Center by the Eshel House. And they are preparing meals for Shabbat as well. And anyone who needs one is able to send in a very short request.
Wow, it's
and they have them delivered.
Wow, unbelievable. We're going to get all those informations, all those links. We'll attach it to the show, and people can see all the information in case they need it or somehow want to donate. As we discussed, Rabbi, when I told you that Chabad is so dear to me, and it's so unbelievable what you do, I want to thank you. My grandmother, may she rest in peace, Grandma Lucy, was actually the personal assistant to Rabbi Hurston in Morristown. And it's just
Beautiful.
Unbelievable, the work that you do and the light upon the world that you shine. So lastly is, how can people help? We know you can donate money, everybody has a link up, but I really feel that people want to be more involved physically in organizing. And do you have any suggestions? And can people actually reach out from you? I mean, it seems like this is a global effort, as I'm from Tel Aviv, and I got immediately on the internet to look for you.
Sure, sure. Obviously, any help is desperately needed. Those that can come in person is great. Obviously, most can't pick themselves up and get here. So for anyone else all over the world, every dollar contributed is desperately needed, and 100% of every dollar goes directly to help the people that are displaced and are in need. And to do that, I would invite your audience to go to the following website. It's ChabadHouston.com/hurricane, ChabadHouston.com/hurricane, and you could make your generous contribution there, and we are incredibly thankful and full of gratitude to people, Jews, non-Jews, from all over the world who have reached out and are helping.
Unbelievable. Rabbi, you are pretty amazing, because I'm sure you are being inundated by phone calls. I really just want to thank you for your time. We are sending you our love and our prayers from Israel. And I know it will be a long and arduous process of cleanup and rebuilding. It's good to know Chabad is there to help us, to help all the time. And any difficult time, you just seem to be there like angels that fall upon any situation, good, bad, and indifferent. So I want to thank you, really. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us. Shabbat Shalom. And I shall be in touch with you, Rabbi. Toda rabba. Milev sheli, toda rabba.
Thank you. We are definitely feeling the love, and we appreciate it very much. All the best.
Toda. Thank you. Bye. Shabbat Shalom.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
And to the audience, thank you for joining me once again on Hot, Hip, and Now. And I'll see you for the next show.